sometimes you gotta run. You just gotta run. So we've all had the experience, or we all will have the experience. We have a connecting flight because now you can't go anywhere without there being a connecting flight. It used to be, you know, you could get direct flights or one hopper. Now you're usually looking at one or two hoppers. So you're gonna be a little bit late getting out of the gate at your first flight. And then you're gonna be a little bit late getting to your arrival gate at your next stop. And then somebody is going to have left a box in the arrival lounge, and which is going to cause that whole wing of the airport to be shut down while they make sure that it's not a bomb. So then you're going to sit there and you're going to watch as it's like, okay, my plane is boarding now. Okay, now they're going to be closing the doors soon. You know, so by the time you get off the plane, you're thinking, man, I'm screwed. There's no way. But run anyway. So check the board. If the board doesn't show that your plane's departed, sometimes the board will show it's delayed. Sometimes it won't show it's delayed. But run for it anyway, because chances are, especially now, that flight's been delayed too. Especially if it's something going on at the airport that's made you a little bit late. Your departing flight might be late too. So don't give up. Don't be like, oh, because how bad it sucked to then realize if I'd only run, I could have made the flight. Now, you will also have the experience of running through the airport. This exact thing happened to me once. It's a very, very long, convoluted story that I'll tell you another time. But anyway, I was flagged by customs and immigration. So anytime I flew into the United States or travel into the United States, I was basically like put in the penalty box. Like I had an Nexus card, I have a visa that I can go to the States for work purposes. But again, because of this long story, I'll tell you another time. I was in the penalty box for about a year. So I just knew it would happen, and I always try to fly first thing in the morning because I think it goes a little smoother. But anyway, I'd get there, I'd get to immigration. When you put you fill out the thing on the little kiosk, and mine would just come out with an X on it. So that's not good. So then I would take the ticket up, and they'd ask me a few questions and then hand me like the big yellow folder that's like, I have done something bad, and you have to go into the little like side room thing, and which is just, it's almost entertaining in itself, if not for the fact that you're missing your flight sitting in there. But anyway, you go in there and then you just sit and wait, and there's nothing you can do. It's kind of fun because you'll see someone who's like, oh, you're new here, because they'll go up to the customs and officer and be like, yeah, my flight's actually boarding in like 10 minutes. And then it's just priceless to see them just look at them like, so, because like, I don't care, then don't get in trouble with it, don't. So anyhow, so yeah, and then the people, if this ever happens to you, the people from the airlines will do like a little swing through to see like, okay, what of our people are in the penalty box? These people haven't checked in yet, maybe they're in the penalty box. So they'll come through the penalty box like, okay, yeah, like anybody on United? Yeah, what flight were you trying to make? This flight. So one time the lady had just come through, and I got called right up to the thing. And by this stage, I'd been in the penalty box long enough that they would just, I had a visa and everything. They'd just be like, oh yeah, I don't know why you keep getting sent in here. Like, see you, have a good day. So I ran like through the airport, get to the thing. It was, and they're like, oh, we just closed the door. Like, even just say, oh, you know, we closed the door like 4 minutes ago, you wouldn't have made it anyway. They're like, oh, we just closed the door. It's so sad. But I've also had it the other way where I've been like, I don't care. I'm just going to run for it. And you run up to the gate and like, and everyone's just sitting around because then you see on their screen, it's like delayed 4 hours. And then, so when in doubt, run for it. You don't need to knock people down. You don't need to make noise like while you're running. Just go for it and try to weasel your way through, and you never know, maybe the flight will be there. If not, you got a little bit of a workout in anyhow. And you look like you're trying, and maybe the airline people feel sorry for you and help you out. So that's the scoop. When you should and when you shouldn't run for it. Unless you check a board and it says your flight's been delayed or canceled or whatever. Just run for it. See you.